Welcome back to Exciting Europe.
Today, we're taking a virtual trip to one of the most incredible art and history destinations in the world, the Vatican Museums. Located in the heart of Vatican City, these museums house a mind-blowing collection of masterpieces accumulated by the Catholic Church over centuries. You might be wondering why I keep saying museums. That's because it's not just one building, but a sprawling complex of 54 galleries, with the Sistine Chapel as the grand finale.
Inside, you'll find everything from ancient Egyptian artifacts and Etruscan bronzes to Renaissance paintings and modern religious art. This video is your introduction to the Vatican Museums. We'll explain how to reach the entrance, buy tickets, and plan an extensive visit. We'll also share where to find refreshments and take breaks. Consider this video your essential guide before exploring one of the world's most important art treasures.
This video is part of the Unveiling the Vatican series. If you're interested in learning more about the Vatican Museums, Vatican City, or St. Peter's Basilica and Square, be sure to watch the other videos in this playlist. The Vatican Museum's origins trace back to the early 16th century when Pope Julius II began amassing a collection of sculptures. His acquisition of the renowned Laocoon and his Sons in 1506 marked a pivotal moment, with this masterpiece and other ancient works put on public display, laying the foundation for the museums we know today. Over the centuries, successive popes continued to enrich this unparalleled collection with treasures from around the world.
The Vatican Museums are truly immense, comprising 54 galleries that showcase a vast collection of art and historical treasures. To give you a sense of the scale, imagine exploring over 9 miles of corridors, winding your way through 70,000 works of art with 20,000 on display. This complex is actually a network of 12 individual museums, each with its own unique focus. Over 6 million people visit each year, drawn by iconic works like Michelangelo's breathtaking Last Judgment, which measures an astounding 13.7 meters by 12 meters.
A visit to the Vatican Museums is a journey through time and art. Among the many highlights are the Carriage Pavillion, with its collection of pope-mobiles and carriages, and the Pinacoteca, an art gallery where you can admire over 460 paintings by masters like Giotto, Fra Angelico, Raphael, Caravaggio, and Leonardo da Vinci. The Egyptian Museum is organized into 9 rooms, each with a different focus. With artifacts dating back 5,000 years, it holds a beautiful collection of sculptures, sarcophagi, and mummies. The Pio-Clementine Museum houses classical sculptures, including the Apollo Belvedere and the Laocoon and his Sons. The Etruscan Museum displays artifacts from the Etruscan civilization which predates the Romans in Italy. Raphael's rooms are renowned for their exquisite frescoes, including the School of Athens and, of course, the iconic Sistine Chapel, adorned with Michelangelo's frescoes, is a masterpiece of Renaissance art. The ceiling depicts scenes from the Book of Genesis, while the altar wall features the massive Last Judgment. But that's not all. From the 120-meter-long gallery of maps to the modern art collection, the Vatican Museums offer an outstanding opportunity to admire art, history, and the richness of human civilization. Plan to spend at least 2 to 5 hours exploring these treasures during your Roman vacation.
The Vatican Museums are open almost every day of the year, welcoming visitors Monday through Saturday. General opening hours are from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. The museums are closed on Sundays, with one exception. The last Sunday of each month offers free entrance from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. last entry at 12:30 p.m. Be aware that the museums are also closed on certain public holidays. To avoid disappointment, it's always best to check the official Vatican Museum's website for the most up-to-date opening hours and any planned closures before your visit, especially if you're traveling during a holiday period. The link to the web page with the museum's opening hours is in the description below. We'll cover how to purchase tickets in the final section of this video, explaining when they become available, the cost, and the different types of tickets you can buy.
To reach the Vatican museums, we recommend using the metro. Take Line A and get off at the Ottaviano station. From there, it's a short walk to the entrance. As you exit the station, take Via Ottaviano towards Piazza del Risorgimento. At this point, the piazza won't be visible yet, but simply follow the signs or the flow of pedestrians. In less than 5 minutes, you will reach Piazza del Risorgimento, a tram terminus. On the opposite side, you will see a massive wall. This imposing structure, 12 meters high and 1,200 meters long, is the Vatican Defense Wall, standing proudly since the 9th century. Here, turn right and follow the wall, and you'll end up at the entrance to the Vatican museums. It is important to watch the last chapter of this video, explaining how to buy tickets, as you will need to join this ticket line if you do not have one already. Otherwise, make your way towards the entrance. You will enter the museums by passing through a security checkpoint. If you haven't purchased your tickets online in advance, you'll find the ticket offices to your left after entering. Be prepared for potentially long queues, especially during peak season. You'll then ascend a grand staircase and reach escalators that will transport you upwards to the heart of the museum complex, where you can begin your exploration of the vast collections.
It's important to get your bearings and understand the layout of the museums to make the most of your visit. This area, or plateau, is your starting and ending point. Take a moment to familiarize yourself with the directions and plan your route. Over the next few minutes, we'll provide tips for orienting yourself, highlight key areas to explore, and point out places where you can take a break. You can download a map of the Vatican museums using the link in the description below. From here, or from the terrace, you can visit the Vatican Art Gallery, also known as the Pinacoteca. This is a central point from which you can begin your visit in different directions. If you head towards the Pinecone Courtyard, take the stairs up one level to visit the Egyptian museums before exiting into the courtyard. Afterward, you can go back down to the Pinecone Courtyard for refreshments or turn left to Pio-Clementino Museum. If you wish to skip the Egyptian Museum, you can head directly to the Pinecone Courtyard and from there take a mostly one-way route to visit the most important parts of the museums in this order: the Pio-Clementino Museum, the Gallery of Candelabra, the Gallery of Tapestries, the Gallery of Maps, Raphael's Rooms, and finally, the Sistine Chapel. Long, beautifully decorated corridors will then guide you back to your starting point. You can then return to the food court for lunch or dinner, visit the Carriage Pavillion and the Pinacoteca if you have time, or exit the museums. It's worth noting that almost all guided tours proceed directly to the Pinecone Courtyard and the Pio-Clementine Museum, bypassing the Carriage Pavillion, Art Gallery, and Egyptian Museum. Keep this in mind when planning your visit, especially if these areas are of particular interest to you. I would definitely recommend exploring the Carriage Pavillion, Art Gallery, and Egyptian Museum in one go. Then, after a break, you can make your way from the Pinecone Courtyard towards the Pio-Clementino Museum and join the long line of people, the crowded one-way street leading towards the Sistine Chapel. After using the escalators and exiting to the plateau, we find ourselves on the roof of the food court. In the food court and nearby coffee shop, you can enjoy a hearty meal, a refreshing drink, or a delicious Italian coffee. If you wish, you can sit on the terrace and take a break to recharge for further exploration of the museums or Rome. Another option is the Pinecone Courtyard restaurant. When booking your ticket for the Vatican museums, you'll see an option for breakfast, lunch, or happy hour at this restaurant. During my last visit, my family and I enjoyed a wonderful breakfast there, and I would definitely return. There is no time limit, so once you enter the complex, you can stay in the museums as long as you like. This is a great opportunity to explore the museums at your own pace, with breaks for food and refreshment.
The Carriage Pavilion houses a diverse collection of carriages, sedan chairs, and even early automobiles, each with its own story to tell. The exhibits illustrate the transition from horse-drawn carriages to motorized vehicles, reflecting the changing times and technological advancements. The centerpiece of the Vatican's carriage collection is the magnificent Grand Gala Berlin. Built in Rome in 1826, this gilded carriage, drawn by a team of 6 horses, was used for significant events, including religious festivals and the traditional procession of the newly crowned Pope to St. John Lateran Basilica. Measuring 6 meters long, 3.2 meters high, and 2.4 meters wide, approximately 19.7 by 10.5 by 7.9 feet. It must have been a breathtaking sight to behold as it conveyed the Pope through the crowded Roman streets. Presented to Pope Pius XI in June 1930, the Citroën Lictoria C6 was a gift from Citroën Italy to commemorate the reconciliation between the Church and the Italian state. While the car's exterior remained largely standard, its deep burgundy paint and gilded chrome accents lent it an air of stately elegance. The rear passenger compartment, in keeping with protocol, was designed as a throne room, its interior resembling an opulent 18th century Venetian drawing room. Ultimately, this opulence proved impractical, limiting its use. In fact, the Lictoria C6 traveled a mere 192 kilometers during its time in the Vatican. Of particular interest are the Pope mobiles on display, specially designed vehicles used to transport the Pope, while early Pope mobiles were often open-air vehicles, intended to allow the pontiff to be more visible to crowds. Following the 1981 assassination attempt on Pope John Paul II, security concerns led to the development of armored Pope mobiles with bulletproof glass. Over the years, various manufacturers have provided vehicles, including Toyota, Fiat, Land Rover, and Mercedes-Benz, each adapted to meet the specific needs of the papacy, combining security, visibility, and a dignified platform for the Pope's public appearances. If you are interested in learning more about the Pope's carriages, click on the link in the upper right corner. This will direct you to a video tour of the Carriage Pavilion.
Only a few steps from the Carriage Pavilion, and a great place to visit right after a short coffee break, is the Vatican Art Gallery, or Pinacoteca. The gallery's collection boasts around 460 paintings, meticulously arranged in chronological order and by artistic school. This allows you to trace the development of Italian art from the medieval period through the Renaissance and beyond. Let's explore some of the most important art pieces. A masterpiece of Giotto and his workshop, the Stefaneschi triptych was designed to be admired from both sides. Commissioned by Cardinal Jacopo Stefaneschi for Old St. Peter's Basilica, it served both the congregation and the clergy. One side presents a majestic St. Peter enthroned, with the cardinal himself kneeling in humble offering. Turn it around, and you find Christ enthroned amidst angels, flanked by dramatic scenes of the martyrdoms of Saints Peter and Paul. Look closely at St. Peter's crucifixion. You'll see the Castel Sant'Angelo and an ancient Roman tomb in the background. Don't miss the charming predella below, where a playful infant Jesus captures hearts. Step into room 3 and discover a hidden gem. 2 panels from Fra Angelico's magnificent 1437 triptych, originally created for the Chapel of St. Nicholas in Perugia. These panels, once part of a larger altarpiece, now share their stories with us. Each panel vividly illustrates key moments in the life of St. Nicholas. The first captures his birth, his calling to the priesthood, and his legendary generosity to 3 poor women. The second portrays his encounter with an imperial legate, his miraculous provision of grain for the city of Myra, and a daring rescue at sea. The final panel of this fascinating triptych awaits you at the National Gallery of Umbria in Perugia. Raphael's final masterpiece, The Transfiguration, is a testament to his extraordinary talent. Commissioned by Cardinal Giulio de' Medici for a French cathedral, it ultimately found its home in Rome. The painting depicts 2 pivotal moments from the Gospel of Matthew: the divine transfiguration of Christ, surrounded by the prophets Moses and Elijah, and the desperate struggle of the apostles to heal a possessed boy. This juxtaposition of the earthly and the divine is a hallmark of Raphael's artistic genius. Considered by Giorgio Vasari to be Raphael's most sublime work, The Transfiguration remains a pinnacle of Renaissance art, inspiring awe and reverence in viewers to this day. Leonardo da Vinci's unfinished St. Jerome is a captivating glimpse into the mind of a master. Painted around 1480, this haunting depiction of the saint in a desolate landscape showcases Leonardo's mastery of light and shadow. The lion at St. Jerome's feet, a symbol of vigilance, is rendered with a few bold strokes, highlighting Leonardo's preference for leaving certain areas unfinished. This enigmatic painting has a fascinating history. After Leonardo's death, it passed through various hands, including those of his assistant Salai and the renowned artist Angelica Kaufmann. Ultimately, it found its way to the Vatican collections, where it continues to fascinate and inspire. Caravaggio's Deposition is a dramatic and poignant masterpiece that reimagines a familiar biblical scene. The painting focuses on the intimate moment of laying Christ's body on the anointing stone, rather than the burial itself. Caravaggio's signature use of tenebrism, with its stark contrasts of light and shadow, creates a sense of heightened drama and emotional intensity. The figures, particularly the grieving Mary of Cleophas, are rendered with a raw realism that is both shocking and deeply moving. Want to explore the art gallery further? Click the link in the upper right corner for a detailed video tour of the Vatican Pinacoteca, where we'll delve into over 20 captivating masterpieces. As you exit the art gallery, follow the flow of visitors towards the Pinecone Courtyard. But before you leave the building entirely, go up the stairs to the first floor. Let's explore the wonders of the Egyptian Museum together.
The Gregorian Egyptian Museum offers a captivating glimpse into the art, culture, and history of ancient Egypt. This museum houses a remarkable collection of artifacts spanning various periods of Egyptian history. Organized into 9 rooms, each showcasing different aspects of Egyptian civilization, the museum presents a comprehensive overview of ancient Egyptian life, religion, and funerary practices. The sarcophagus of Jedmut, a singer of Amun-Ra, reflects the changing burial customs of the 22nd dynasty. As grand tombs became less accessible, the sarcophagus itself became the focus, its surface adorned with intricate scenes and inscriptions. This yellow coffin, with its radiant background symbolizing eternal renewal, exemplifies the artistic ingenuity born from economic constraints. Also on display is the mummy of Amanirdis, showcasing the meticulous embalming process common even among the middle classes. Adorned with amulets and faience beads, her mummy highlights the importance of safeguarding the deceased on their journey into eternity. These artifacts offer a poignant reminder of the ancient Egyptians' profound beliefs and enduring fascination with the afterlife. The striking bifrontal statue of Osiris Apis reflects the fusion of Egyptian and Roman beliefs. Likely representing Antinous, Hadrian's deified companion, it symbolizes resurrection and salvation. This fascinating piece, misinterpreted and restored in the 18th century, now stands on a lotus flower base, embodying eternal rebirth. Unearthed in 1736, it serves as a reminder of the enduring fascination with ancient Egypt. The statue of Osiris Antinous further exemplifies the deification of Antinous, Hadrian's beloved companion who drowned in the Nile. This portrayal of Antinous as Osiris, god of the afterlife, reflects the divine status bestowed upon him. Unearthed in 1740, the statue is believed to have originated from Hadrian's villa, a testament to the enduring power of Antinous' story and its artistic legacy. As we make our way towards the last galleries of the Egyptian Museum, and a quick reminder that you can watch a full tour of the museum by clicking the link in the upper right corner, we'll unexpectedly exit onto a staircase, next to the entrance to the restrooms. At the bottom of the stairs is the Chiaramonti Museum, and to the right is the exit to the Pinecone Courtyard. If we wish to join the one-way street towards the Sistine Chapel, we should turn left and ascend towards the Pio-Clementino Museum. But first, let's explore the Pinecone Courtyard.
The courtyard of the Pinecone marks the northern end of the Grand Renaissance Belvedere. It takes its name from the enormous bronze pine cone nestled within a huge hemispherical niche. This colossal pine cone, cast in the 1st and 2nd centuries by Publius Cincius Salvius, whose name is inscribed on the base, once adorned the Campus Martius, serving as a fountain with water gushing from holes in its scales. Around the end of the 8th century, it was moved to the atrium of Old St. Peter's Basilica, where it formed the centerpiece of an ornate fountain. Finally, in 1608, during the construction of the current basilica, it was relocated to its present location in the courtyard. Beneath the niche, 2 imposing lions from the reign of Nectanebo I stand guard. These majestic creatures once protected a shrine to Thoth, the Egyptian god of wisdom and reconciliation. Their journey from ancient Egypt to the Vatican is remarkable. They may have graced the Pantheon or the Temple of Isis in Rome before being incorporated into the Aqua Felice fountain and ultimately finding their home in the courtyard. These lions, symbols of a united Egypt under Nectanebo I, continue to inspire awe and wonder, reminding us of the enduring legacy of ancient civilizations. At the center of the Pinecone Courtyard stands a captivating sculpture, Arnaldo Pomodoro's Sphere Within Sphere, or Sfera con Sfera in Italian. This massive bronze sphere, measuring 4 meters in diameter, was created specifically for the Vatican museums in 1990. Pomodoro, renowned for his distinctive spherical sculptures, crafted this piece with a fractured surface, revealing a smaller sphere within. This design symbolizes the complexity and fragility of the world, with the inner sphere representing Earth and the outer fractured sphere representing the challenges and conflicts facing humanity, particularly Christianity. The sculpture is designed to rotate, inviting viewers to engage with it physically and contemplate its meaning. This sphere within sphere is not unique to the Vatican museums. Pomodoro has created a series of these sculptures, with others located in prominent places like the United Nations headquarters in New York City and Trinity College in Dublin. They've become iconic symbols of his work and powerful representations of the human condition. Visible from the courtyard is a very important building in the Vatican museums, often overlooked and almost never presented by tour guides. The Tower of Winds, built between 1578 and 1580 by Pope Gregory XIII, was commissioned as an astronomical observatory to study the Gregorian calendar reform, a project close to his heart. Julian calendar, established by Julius Caesar, had become inaccurate over the centuries. To address this issue and ensure accurate astronomical observations, Pope Gregory XIII assembled a team of astronomers and mathematicians. Their work culminated in the Gregorian calendar, which we still use today. To realign the calendar with the solar year, 10 days were dropped from October 1582. The new calendar also included a revised leap year rule to keep it more accurate over time. Pope Gregory XIII is buried in St. Peter's Basilica. His monument, sculpted by Camillo Rusconi, features a statue of the Pope depicting him giving a blessing and a sarcophagus with a relief showing the implementation of the Gregorian calendar. Leaving the courtyard and heading towards the Pio-Clementino Museum, we can take a short detour to the right and explore the Chiaramonti Museum, a long corridor designed by Donato Bramante. Named after the family of its founder, Pope Pius VII, the museum's appearance has remained largely unchanged since it was first organized by the renowned sculptor Antonio Canova. It houses a vast collection of nearly 1,000 ancient sculptures, including statues of gods, portrait busts, pagan altars, architectural fragments, urns, and sarcophagi.
Next museum on our itinerary is the Pio-Clementino Museum, a true gem of the Vatican museums. Founded in the 18th century, this museum houses a mind-blowing collection of Greek and Roman masterpieces. We're talking about works that date back centuries, including iconic pieces like the Laocoon and his sons, the Apollo Belvedere, and the Belvedere torso. The Apollo Belvedere, discovered around 1489, was once part of a cardinal's collection before becoming a prized possession of the Vatican in 1508. This 2nd century AD statue, believed to be a copy of a 4th century BC bronze original, depicts the god Apollo in a regal pose, originally holding a bow and arrow. It has inspired artists and intellectuals for centuries and remains a symbol of ideal beauty and artistic perfection. The Laocoon group, a renowned Greek marble sculpture, depicts the Trojan priest Laocoon and his sons tragically entwined with serpents sent by the gods as punishment for his warnings about the Trojan horse. Discovered in 1506 and praised by Pliny the Elder, it was quickly acquired by Pope Julius II for the Vatican. This powerful and emotional work has captivated artists and viewers for centuries. Now prepare to be amazed. The Belvedere torso, a headless and limbless male figure, is one of the most celebrated sculptures in the museum. Discovered in Rome in the late 15th century, this 1st century BC masterpiece, attributed to the Athenian sculptor Apollonius, has captivated artists for centuries, inspiring figures like Michelangelo. Depicting the Greek hero Ajax in a moment of despair, the torso exudes strength and emotion, even without a head or limbs. For more information about the Pio-Clementino Museum, click the link in the upper right corner. Now we head towards Raphael's Rooms. But first, we'll join the crowds and make our way through 3 magnificent galleries: the Gallery of Candelabra, the Gallery of Tapestries, and the Gallery of Maps.
This gallery, as its name suggests, houses a magnificent collection of ancient Roman candelabras. These marble masterpieces, dating back to the 1st century AD, were discovered in the 18th century among the ruins of Hadrian's villa in Tivoli. The carvings on the candelabras depict a variety of subjects, including mythological scenes, floral motifs, and human figures. In addition to the candelabras, the gallery also displays other Roman artifacts, such as sculptures, vases, and columns, creating a captivating ensemble of ancient art. The Gallery of Tapestries is renowned for its exquisite collection of 16th century Flemish tapestries. These tapestries, woven with silk and wool threads, portray scenes from the lives of Christ and the apostles, as well as historical events. The vibrant colors and details of the tapestries are a testament to the exceptional skill of the Flemish weavers. The tapestries were originally commissioned by Pope Leo X and were designed by renowned artists of the time, including Raphael. The Gallery of Maps is an impressive corridor stretching for 120 meters and adorned with 40 large maps. These maps, painted between 1580 and 1585, depict the various regions of Italy, including its surrounding islands. The maps are not only geographically accurate, but also artistically stunning, showcasing the landscapes, cities, and historical events of each region. The Gallery of Maps offers a fascinating glimpse into the cartographic knowledge and artistic sensibilities of the 16th century.
Raphael's rooms are a suite of 4 rooms, famous for their frescoes painted by Raphael and his workshop. Commissioned by Pope Julius II, they were intended as his personal apartments and showcase high Renaissance art. The rooms, including the room of the signature with the School of Athens, are renowned for their harmonious designs, blending classical and Christian themes. They are a must-see for any visitor to the Vatican museums. To reach Raphael's rooms, while maintaining a smooth flow through the congested Vatican museums from the Room of the Immaculate Conception, we'll take a short detour. This improvised side path will lead us outside the building and then back inside to the first room of our visit, the Hall of Constantine. The Sala di Costantino, or the Constantine Hall, the grandest hall within the papal apartments, has long served as the setting for official ceremonies of the pontifical court. The room is dominated by Giulio Romano's massive The Battle of the Milvian Bridge, a fresco measuring approximately 12.3 feet high and 27.9 feet wide. The artwork vividly captures the climax of the battle, the very moment of Constantine's triumph. Filled with figures engaged in fierce combat, this dynamic composition echoes the style of Roman battle reliefs, which focused on portraying the most intense moments of conflict. This decisive victory at Milvian Bridge marked a turning point in Roman history, paving the way for Christianity to become the empire's dominant religion. Next on our itinerary is the Room of Heliodorus, with 2 frescoes that must be highlighted: the expulsion of Heliodorus from the temple and the meeting between Saint Leo I the Great and Attila. This scene depicts the expulsion of Heliodorus from the temple, symbolizing God's protection of the church. Angels punish Heliodorus for attempting to steal from the Temple of Jerusalem, reflecting Pope Julius II's own policy of reclaiming church lands. To emphasize this, the Pope included himself in the painting, observing God's judgment. A divine warrior strikes down Heliodorus, while the high priest Onius prays in the center, framed by an architectural structure reminiscent of Bramante's designs. This central act of prayer and faith draws the viewer's eye. The meeting between Saint Leo the Great and Attila depicts God's protection of Rome. Raphael portrays Pope Leo I confronting Attila the Hun at the gates of Rome, with recognizable landmarks in the background. Attila recoils in terror as the apostles Peter and Paul appear in the sky, forcing him to flee. Interestingly, the Pope is depicted with the likeness of the newly elected Pope Leo X, as Pope Julius II died during the fresco's creation. The Room of the Signature is the most famous room, as it houses the School of Athens and the Disputation of the Holy Sacrament. This fresco, often called the Disputation of the Holy Sacrament, depicts theology by showing heaven and earth united in contemplation of the Eucharist. Christ reigns above with God the Father and the Holy Spirit, while below an altar with the host forms the center. Theologians, including Dante and Savonarola, surround the altar, debating the real presence of Christ in the Eucharist. This scene celebrates theology's power to reveal divine truth through faith and reason. Known as the School of Athens, this fresco celebrates philosophy and knowledge. In a grand architectural setting reminiscent of St. Peter's Basilica, philosophers from antiquity engage in discussion and contemplation. At the center, Plato and Aristotle represent opposing philosophical viewpoints. Raphael masterfully arranges figures like Pythagoras and Euclid, symbolizing the stages of learning. He includes his self-portrait and portrays contemporaries as philosophers, with Euclid resembling Bramante and Michelangelo as Heraclitus. This fresco captures a unique moment in art history when Raphael, Michelangelo, and Bramante were all working within the Vatican. There's even a story about Bramante secretly showing Raphael the unfinished Sistine Chapel ceiling, giving him a glimpse into Michelangelo's techniques. This anecdote highlights the incredible artistic energy and exchange of ideas that flourished during this period. And finally, the fourth room on our Raphael's Rooms itinerary is the Room of the Fire. The fire in the Borgo fresco vividly depicts Pope Leo IV miraculously extinguishing a fire in the Borgo district. Raphael captures the climax, with the Pope making the sign of the cross in the background. The foreground shows classical buildings, while the background offers a glimpse of the old St. Peter's Basilica. Dramatic details like a mother saving her child and a man carrying an older person add to the scene. Raphael's rooms are truly a treasure trove of Renaissance art, but we've only scratched the surface. Uncover the secrets and stories behind these frescoes in our in-depth exploration. Click the link in the upper right corner to watch the full video. From here, we'll navigate a maze of corridors and a few steps to reach the Sistine Chapel. If you still have energy, take a closer look at the impressive modern religious art exhibition. Sadly, it's often overlooked as visitors. Tired and anxious to reach the Sistine Chapel, skip it. However, the Vatican's collection of modern religious art is worth exploring, with 55 rooms dedicated to displaying some 600 works. Let's present some of these great artworks. This sketch, a preparatory work for the chapel's ceramic centerpiece, captures Matisse's dedication in his twilight years. Traces of his studio, a door, a fuse box, are still visible beside the Virgin, connecting us to his creative space. A surprising addition to the Matisse room, Fontana's Madonna is a powerful sculpture commissioned in the 1950s. Originally residing in Milan, this imposing marble figure embodies both strength and dynamism, a testament to the enduring image of the Madonna. This study encapsulates the explosive energy of Fazzini's Resurrection, a monumental work for the Vatican's Paul VI Hall. Depicting the resurrection as a cataclysmic event, it's a powerful symbol of Christ's triumph over death. Pietà is a rare religious work by Van Gogh, painted shortly before his death. Based on a Delacroix lithograph, it's a poignant reflection of the artist's own struggles, with the figure of Christ possibly a self-portrait. A surreal interpretation of the crucifixion, this study for Dalí's Corpus Hypercubicus contrasts a classical Christ figure with dreamlike elements and symbolic tools of the Passion. This study for the Ecumenical Council focuses on the Virgin, Christ, and the Archangel Gabriel, echoing Michelangelo's Last Judgment and connecting to the Second Vatican Council. Ghanaian artist El Anatsui transforms discarded bottle caps into shimmering tapestries. These large-scale works evoke African textiles and Byzantine mosaics, demonstrating the power of recycled materials to become breathtaking art.
Getting ready for your exciting European adventure?
From charming cafes to historic landmarks, your adventure is calling. But before you go, gear up. Travel adapter and portable charger are essential. A good travel guide and secure anti-theft bag will keep your trip stress-free. Shop our recommendations below and get ready to explore Europe.
The Sistine Chapel, commissioned in 1475, is more than just a beautiful space. Its dimensions may deliberately echo Solomon's Temple and the Roman Curia, connecting it to both biblical and imperial authority. The chapel's fortress-like exterior reflects its role in protecting the papal conclave, the secret gathering where cardinals elect a new pope. Inside, the breathtaking frescoes and the solemn atmosphere create an unforgettable spiritual experience. There are 3 main points of interest: the frescoes on the Sistine Chapel walls, Michelangelo's frescoes on the ceiling, and his fresco of the Last Judgment on the altar wall. The frescoes on the chapel walls tell the stories of Moses and Christ. These parallel narratives unfold like a visual dialogue, with each scene on one wall mirroring and fulfilling a scene on the opposite wall. We can admire 12 frescoes from Perugino, Botticelli, Rosselli, Signorelli, and others, each brushstroke contributing to a harmonious and awe-inspiring narrative. Perugino's journey into Egypt depicts a pivotal moment in Moses' life. Returning to Egypt, he's stopped by an angel demanding his son's circumcision. This dramatic encounter contrasts with the serene farewell to his father-in-law in the background. This scene sets the stage for Moses' epic journey as God's chosen leader. Perugino's Baptism of Christ on the north wall depicts Jesus' baptism by John, with the Holy Spirit descending and God blessing the scene. The crowd includes contemporary portraits, connecting past and present. This event marks the start of Jesus' ministry and a new covenant with God, full of symbolism and spiritual meaning. Botticelli's Stories of Life of Moses depicts key moments in Moses' early life: defending an Israelite, fleeing to exile, aiding Jethro's daughters, encountering the burning bush, and leading the Israelites out of Egypt. It captures his transformation from exile to deliverer, chosen by God to lead his people to freedom. Temptations of Christ by Botticelli uniquely places the devil's 3 temptations of Jesus in the background. Jesus resists each, and the defeated devil flees. In the foreground, a sacrificial scene foreshadows Christ's ultimate sacrifice. This composition prompts reflection on temptation and the strength of faith. Biagio d'Antonio's fresco dramatically captures the Israelites' miraculous escape across the Red Sea. Led by Moses, they watch as the waters part, while a rainbow symbolizes God's protection. The pursuing Egyptian army is engulfed by the waves, highlighting the power of faith and the triumph of good over evil. Ghirlandaio's The Vocation of the First Apostles depicts Jesus calling Peter and Andrew to become his disciples. They leave their fishing nets to follow him, captured with a sense of wonder and humility. The crowd includes contemporary figures, connecting the biblical story to the artist's time. This scene marks the beginning of Jesus' ministry and the formation of the early church. Rosselli's Moses receiving the tablets of the law depicts Moses receiving the 10 Commandments from God, but also the Israelites' betrayal by worshiping a golden calf. Moses, witnessing this, shatters the tablets in anger. This symbolizes the broken covenant, leading to punishment and the need for new tablets. The fresco captures the hope, despair, and eventual forgiveness within this story. Rosselli's The Sermon of the Mount portrays Jesus delivering the Sermon on the Mount to a diverse crowd, speaking of love and compassion. A boy with a lamb symbolizes Jesus' sacrifice, while Jesus healing a leper represents faith's power. The fresco captures the sermon's message of hope, love, and faith's transformative power. The punishment of Korah shows the rebellion against Moses by Korah and his followers, who challenged Moses' authority. Their defiance is punished by divine wrath, with the earth swallowing some and fire consuming others. The Arch of Constantine in the background with its inscription replaced by a biblical quote, emphasizes the divine origin of true authority and the consequences of challenging it. Perugino's fresco depicts Jesus giving St. Peter the keys to the kingdom of heaven, symbolizing his spiritual and earthly authority as the first pope. The background features the old Jewish temple and the Arch of Constantine, representing the past and the rise of Christianity. The crowd includes contemporary portraits, connecting the event to Perugino's time. This scene symbolizes papal authority and the foundation of the Catholic Church. The Testament of Moses by Luca Signorelli and Bartolomeo della Gatta depicts the end of Moses' life. He sees the promised land but cannot enter it, passes leadership to Joshua, and delivers his final speech to the Israelites. Finally, he dies peacefully. This scene honors Moses' leadership and reminds us that even the greatest journeys end, but their impact endures. This fresco of the Last Supper by Cosimo Rosselli and Biagio d'Antonio not only shows Jesus' final meal with his disciples, but also hints at his coming betrayal and death. A devil on Judas's shoulder reveals his betrayal, and the background windows foreshadow Jesus' prayer, arrest, and crucifixion. This scene powerfully reminds us of Jesus' sacrifice. In 1508, at the age of 33, Michelangelo was commissioned by Pope Julius II to paint the ceiling. This vast expanse, spanning over 5,382 square feet, 500 square meters, presented a daunting challenge. The ceiling depicts scenes from the Book of Genesis, including the iconic creation of Adam, and showcases Michelangelo's powerful figures, dramatic compositions, and masterful use of color and light. Drunkenness of Noah portrays the patriarch's vulnerability after succumbing to drunkenness. His son's varied reactions highlight themes of family, shame, and forgiveness. The image of Noah planting a vine foreshadows his downfall, while the Delphic Sibyl and the prophet Joel add a prophetic dimension to the scene, emphasizing the consequences of human fallibility and the need for redemption. The Great Flood captures the chaos and despair of the biblical deluge. While the ark symbolizes hope and salvation, a sinking boat represents the futility of human efforts without divine guidance. The fresco contrasts selfish actions with compassionate ones, showcasing the range of human responses in the face of disaster. Michelangelo masterfully portrays the raw emotions of fear, despair, and love as individuals struggle for survival amidst the raging waters. Noah's sacrifice depicts a scene of gratitude and renewal after the flood. Noah and his family offer a burnt offering, symbolizing their thanks and commitment to a righteous life. The altar, laden with fruits and grains, represents abundance and a fruitful future. The prophet Isaiah and the Erythraean Sibyl frame the scene, linking the sacrifice to prophecy and divine intervention. Fall of Man vividly portrays the temptation of Adam and Eve by a serpent disguised as a woman. The tree of knowledge symbolizes the boundary between innocence and experience, foreshadowing the cross and the hope of redemption. The expulsion of Adam and Eve from Eden, guarded by an angel with a flaming sword, serves as a timeless reminder of the consequences of disobedience and the enduring need for forgiveness. Creation of Eve portrays God gently creating Eve from Adam's rib. The sleeping Adam and the tree stump subtly foreshadow Christ's sacrifice. The Cumean Sibyl and the prophet Ezekiel, both associated with prophecies of a savior, frame the scene. This suggests that Eve's creation prefigures Mary, the mother of Jesus, linking the origins of humanity to the birth of Christianity. creation of Adam depicts the breathtaking moment when God brings Adam to life with a touch. Their almost touching fingers symbolize the transmission of the divine spark. Framed by the prophet Daniel and the Persian Sibyl, representing wisdom from both biblical and pagan traditions, this masterpiece highlights the universal power of creation and the beauty of humanity. Separation of land and water shows a majestic God soaring through the heavens, separating the waters to create land and sea with a powerful gesture. Angelic figures surround him, adding to the awe and wonder of this divine act of creation. Creation of the heavens. Fresco depicts God creating the sun, moon, and stars, illuminating the universe with a divine gesture. God's dynamic presence fills the scene as he commands the earth to bring forth vegetation. The luminous celestial bodies stand out against the dark void, showcasing the beauty and complexity of the universe. This scene celebrates God's boundless creative power. Separation of light and darkness fresco powerfully portrays the first act of creation, where God divides light from darkness. This dramatic scene symbolizes the divine power to bring order and illuminate the void. The figures of the Libyan Sibyl and the prophet Jeremiah frame the central image, representing ancient wisdom and the human struggle against despair. Michelangelo's Last Judgment, a monumental fresco that engulfs the entire altar wall of the Sistine Chapel, was painted when Michelangelo was in his 60s. This masterpiece took about 450 days to complete and offers a powerful and terrifying vision of humanity's final reckoning. At the heart of this swirling composition stands Christ the Judge, a muscular and imposing figure who commands the scene with a gesture of divine authority. His face is stern, his arm raised in a gesture that separates the saved from the damned. Beside him, the Virgin Mary shrinks back, her face etched with sorrow and compassion for the fate of humanity. The fresco is a whirlwind of movement and emotion. On one side, the righteous ascend to heaven, guided by angels. On the other, the damned plummet into the depths of hell, tormented by demons. Michelangelo's masterful depiction of the human form captures the full spectrum of human emotion, from ecstasy to despair. Among the multitude of figures, we see familiar saints and biblical characters. Saint Peter holds the keys to the kingdom of heaven. Saint Bartholomew, holding his own flayed skin, is believed to be a self-portrait of Michelangelo, expressing his anxieties about his own salvation. Angels with trumpets announce the final judgment, their powerful blasts echoing through the heavens. Michelangelo even incorporates figures from Dante's Inferno into his vision of the Last Judgment. Charon, the ferryman of the underworld, brutally pushes the damned from his boat. Minos, the judge of the underworld, is depicted with the face of Biagio da Cesena, a critic of Michelangelo's work, forever immortalized in this scene of eternal damnation. The Sistine Chapel is more than just a beautiful space. It's steeped in history, from its Renaissance origins to its role in papal conclaves. Want to learn more about its significance, the intricate floor, and the stories behind the art? Click the link in the upper right corner for a deeper dive.
As you exit the Sistine Chapel, beautifully decorated corridors will guide you towards the exit staircase. You'll have a chance to rest, refresh, or immediately descend the remarkable staircase designed by Giuseppe Momo. This modern marvel, built in 1932, is actually a double helix, with two separate flights intertwining like strands of DNA. This ingenious design, a modern evolution of the original Bramante staircase, built in 1505 in the Pio-Clementino Museums, not open to the general public, allows people to go up and down simultaneously without ever crossing paths. ensuring a smooth flow even with large crowds. But don't rush. Pause for a moment and take in the sight. The sweeping curves, the play of light and shadow, and the constant movement of people make it an excellent photo opportunity. Capture this architectural wonder as a reminder of your time in one of the world's most important museums. Then step out into the Roman sunshine, ready to explore the city's countless other marvels.
This concludes our virtual tour of the Vatican Museums. Of course, you'll need to purchase a ticket for the Vatican Museums. Let's take you through a step-by-step guide on how to do that.
Planning your visit to the Vatican Museums is crucial for a successful experience. The most important step is to buy your tickets in advance on the official website. Your ticket will be for a specific time slot, allowing you to enter the complex and explore at your own pace. While it's possible to buy tickets on the spot, expect extremely long lines. As shown in this video filmed at 7 a.m., the museum opens at 8 a.m. If you haven't purchased tickets in advance and don't want to wait, you can buy so-called skip the line or jump the line tickets, though they are more expensive, up to 3 times the regular price, and are sold by third-party sellers. You can find links in the description. As an affiliate, we receive a small commission if you purchase through our links, but this won't affect the price you pay. There are 3 lines to enter the museum. The longest is for those without tickets, followed by the line for those with timed tickets, and finally, the line for guided tours. No other skip the line or jump the line options exist, regardless of what other sites may claim. So let's purchase the ticket. Click the link in the description to open the official website. On the main page, choose your preferred language in the upper right corner, and then click Tickets in the left corner. As you can see, there are multiple tickets available for various museums and residences, from the Vatican Museums to Castel Gandolfo in the nearby hill town, to the necropolis of the Via Triumphalis. Choose Vatican Museums, then select the date of your planned visit and the number of visitors. Tickets are usually on sale 90 days in advance. There are many ticket options available, from guided tours to tickets to the observatory, Castel Gandolfo, and even guided tours of other papal basilicas. What we are looking for is admission tickets, Vatican Museums, and Sistine Chapel. Choose the type of ticket. In our case, it would be a full-price ticket. Then, select your desired time of visit, morning, lunch, or afternoon. I prefer to book early, so I always choose the first available time slot in the morning, which in this case is 8 a.m. Next, you'll have the option to add extras like audio guides for €8, or book breakfast for 22, lunch for 25, pizza for 11, or happy hour for €22. If you choose these options, food will be served in the Pinecone Courtyard restaurant. During my last visit with my parents, we booked breakfast, and we loved it. After confirming your choices, you will be redirected to a page to recap your booking. Don't get confused. In Europe, the date is written in a different order than in the United States. The day comes first, then the month, and lastly the year. In this case, the booking was made for the 4th of March 2025 at 8 a.m. Manager data refers to the information of the person who will pay for the tickets or the contact person for this group reservation. Participants list is the list of people who will visit the museums. According to the latest communication from the Vatican Museums, these names may be checked at the entrance against the ID of the person holding the ticket, so please be careful to enter the real names of those who will be visiting. Please note that mobile numbers must be entered in the format 00 instead of plus. For example, if your number is from the US, should be written like this. For language selection, Italiano means Italian, and Inglese means English. On the next screen, you will enter your payment details. After paying, your order confirmation email should arrive in your inbox within minutes. Print this confirmation, ensuring the barcode is clear and undamaged for easy scanning at the museum entrance. One more thing. When paying for your order, an additional window may pop up asking for your credit card details again. Nome titolare means first name. Cognome titolare means last name. Numero carta is the credit card number. Scadenza is the expiration date. And codice di controllo is the 3 or 4-digit security code from the back of your card.
And that concludes our virtual tour of the Vatican museums. We've just scratched the surface of the incredible art and history within these walls. From ancient Egyptian wonders to Michelangelo's masterpieces, there's something to inspire everyone. Plan your visit in advance, grab your tickets online, and prepare to be amazed. For more in-depth explorations of the Vatican museums, check out the links in the description below. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more exciting travel guides and art adventures. And if you're eager to discover more about Vatican City, be sure to watch our other videos on Vatican City, the Vatican museums, and Rome's must-see basilicas, museums, and attractions. Until next time, keep exploring.
This video is part of the Unveiling the Vatican series. Check out the channel for playlists to learn more about the city's amazing basilicas, ancient ruins, great food, and Christianity. Thanks for exploring Rome with us. If you loved this video, hit that like button and subscribe for more European adventures.
This channel has a great selection of videos for all interests, from quick guides on buying tickets and using public transport to in-depth explorations of the most important galleries, museums, and monuments. Let's explore Europe together, from Amsterdam to Rome, Milan to London, and beyond.